Hello boys and girls, a little bit of an odd episode here today. Talking about the Honda Groms, the MSX-125. There are millions, thousands, billions videos on the YouTube thingy about various things such as how to fit the tail tidy and all of that stuff, but I haven't really seen a high mudguard one, and as I'm doing that right now I thought I'd make a video about it. These are the first generation Groms, so your newer ones might look different. A fairly common way of dealing with this is that you use the Honda MSX-125 Mudguard, which is a high one. It's chrome, so it gets a little bit of that Harley Davidson vibe to it. But the Honda MSX comes with fork protectors, which are very good for an upside down fork with a high mudguard. Now these ones comes with these Spaceballs inspired mudguards, and yeah. Also, the first generation Grom has got this headlight that comes down quite a lot below the actual triple clamps here. If we look from the back, you can see that the triple clamps actually finish there, which technically means that we could mount the mudguard up there if it wasn't for this sticky down gigantic headlight. Yeah, I don't like the headlight, but it's there for the moment, so maybe in the future that'll change. The standard setup is that the mudguard actually protects the fork here, and that the brake line is attached to there with a bracket that is bent. There is a horn here with about 1 million pieces to hold it in place for some reason. This is how far I've made it on my bike. So this is the CR50 aftermarket mudguard. It is £7 off eBay. This is not a genuine Honda product. The only thing I would say is that it's quite narrow, so I doubt that it'll actually have much of a proper effect. But you know, it looks pretty decent. It also finishes yeah, that's not going to be very efficient, so I am considering putting a mud flap on there. As you saw on the original bike, the horn needs relocating, so I made this bracket here, but that turned out to not be a very good idea, and I will show you that in a second. Another thing I did was that I took the bracket off the mudguard from the original mudguard and put it on there, on that bracket, and I bent it straight, so now there's ample space there and there should be no problems with the wheel hitting that brake line. The biggest modification though are these 3D printed fork protectors. We ordered the original Honda MSX ones, but they are actually quite expensive, especially when you need 2 sets of them. And for some reason the company we ordered them from didn't want to sell them to us, so I went into Fusion 360 and I modeled these ones instead. Now these ones have basically just come straight off the printer. I took the supports off and I ran the knife in a few places where there were a few blobs. They're printed in PETG, so they will withstand the temperature changes for being outdoors and stuff. But basically this is the 3rd iteration, and they mount into the original mudguard location. They're pretty sturdy. They're sturdy enough for the rocks to hit it, and should protect the mudguard, or the forks, sorry. The actual mudguard is just held in place with some 10mm wide aluminium bars that I have bent into shape and put them on there now. The more advanced one here at the back has got a tab bent there and a straight bit there, and it is actually an angle iron instead of a flat bar. Before I'm done with all of this, I will shape them. They should not look ugly like that, and I will bend them to fit a little bit better on here. The mudguard also comes with factory holes under there, which are not desirable for the minimal mud protection effect that we desire. So I need to cover them up too. That's as far as I've made it so far, and the next thing I will probably do is to get the horn to work, and then I will fix those and probably, maybe, put some paint on them. with the standard bracket in place, that is this part, and these two parts, and the bolt with the rubber bushes on it, the horn sounds like this. My horn that is mounted straight to the aluminium piece there sounds like this. I'm no fan of horns and I don't like tooting them, especially if they're mine, but that's not good enough. It turns out that this double metal bar thingy is quite critical to this. I tried to get it to work with the aluminium triangle thingy that I had here first. That would have been a little bit preferable because it was a little bit shorter, but I don't dare go cut into this, so it works now. Also I used the rubber grommets washer spacers there, so now it sounds as it should. It sounds a bit too good actually. Right. Anyway, that's fixed. I think I'm going to put on a mud flap next. Not that it'll do much, but maybe it'll stop a little bit of dirt coming up into the underside of the airbox. Okay, boys and girls, some time has passed and I now have a mud flap on the back there. It is very organic. It will look something like that, and yeah, it's not super wide, so part of the tire is not covered, but as we all know, it's the thought that counts when it comes to mechanical things, right? I have now rounded off the edges on the 3 brackets, just for information. The distance from the center of the hole down to the bottom is about 86 millimeters on that bracket, and same thing on that one. Yeah, 86, 87. So that's the distance you can have the mudguard up when it comes to how far under the headlight it goes. And the angle is a bit arbitrary, just bend it and see where it ends up. And this bracket now looks like this. I've rounded off the bottom there, and the top kind of fits like so. Those 2 top holes, these ones, they are for a zip tie to hold the wire for the horn. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sand these quickly, and then I'm going to wash them up with some acetone, and then I'm going to give them a quick coat of primer and then some satin black. This is not aimed to be a show bike, so it's all going to be very quick and dirty. I feel very impatient today, so I'm going to get onto this now. Okay, boys and girls, that's it. That's what it ended up looking like, and I must say I'm pretty pleased. The mudguard is quite small, but so was the price, so I guess that goes hand in hand. I'll show you some close-ups right now, and as you can see, the bracket is pretty much invisible and the horn is where it should be, and the mud flap sticks out further down than I thought. We still need to do the other one there that still has the Spaceballs helmet on it, but other than that, yeah, pretty good.